and welcome to Round Robin. I'm your host, Robin McCormick from the city's Marketing and Communications Department. And today we're going to talk about the Hampton Teen Center. It's a facility that has largely been underused since it was established, and trying to figure out the right mix of programming has been a challenge for the city. And with us today we have the person who's going to help solve some of those problems, Allison Nelson. Welcome, Allison.
Thank you.
So how long have you been, you're with Youth Education and Families, which is the department now that oversees Teen Center programming and the facility. And you personally have been it's part of your job now to help with that center.
Correct. I started out with the Teen Center in the fall, just kind of helping with some special event activities. I had a background in that and just kind of went in and helped with that. And then in January, got more involved and helped put together a team of staff people from YEF to kind of take a look at the Teen Center, find out what's happening, what's not happening, and how can we go ahead and get this off the ground and make it the gem that it really is.
It's such a challenge because the Teen Center was essentially planned by a group of teens over a long period of time, and part of the community plan and part of the effort. But by the time it was realized, those kids were kind of gone.
Exactly.
They'd graduated and moved on. And the facility, while it's an ideal facility, isn't really located in a place that's easy for kids to get to. You want to tell us where it is, first off, for people who haven't been there? Okay,
it's in the old Centera Fitness Center, located at 300 Butler Farm Road at the intersection of Magruder and Hampton Road Center Parkway.
And I think that's been one of our challenges. It's not in a neighborhood. It's not near a school, but it's a great building. Oh my gosh, it's beautiful. It's got so much to offer.
It is. And what I found is that kids find a way to get there in many instances. We have kids that walk. We have kids that ride the city bus. And during the school year, we pick up at the 4 local high schools. And so that's great, and I don't think a lot of families and students know that. That's something that we're going to be marketing and pushing very heavily comes the beginning of school this September. So we do have, parents that even drop them off. If you're homeschooled, your parent can drop you off. If you're 16 and you have a driver's license, you can drive yourself to the Teen Center. So I have found that teens will get where they want to be most of the time.
Okay, so how do you make them want to be there? Because that is true of teens. But they're a tough group.
They are very difficult, and I've kind of learned that in having trial and error out there, that you can offer something, and if they don't want to do it, they're just not going to do it. I don't care how great it is. That's like us, though. If there's not something you really want to do, you're not going to do it.
Oh,
it doesn't matter.
Too busy, too hard.
Exactly.
You'll
have a reason. So we really just kind of, our facility is not going to be one where we have designed programs. At 4 o'clock you're going to do this, at 5 o'clock you're going to do that. That's not going to work for this
try
group.
and structure some teenagers.
Not
I don't
happening.
think so.
So what we've decided is that we're going to provide this great facility. We're going to make sure that it's a safe and nurturing environment. And when groups want to offer something to our teens and we have the ability to bring that into the facility, we're going to do that. And then we're going to market it very heavily to students, to parents, to the community at large, and they will come, and that's what we're finding. We've had an insurge of participants coming in this summer.
Now, what did you offer this summer?
This summer, we're open 3 days a week, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and kids can just come and hang out. We've had some field trips. Every couple weeks we do a field trip that they can go on. They have to pay for that field trip, but we try to find it at a reasonable cost. We provide the transportation, and I usually provide the meal or something like that, and they provide their ticket, whatever it is. So we have that available. We've worked with Parks and Rec where we're swimming 1 day a week. We can go to the pool, which is attached to us.
I know it's right there in your building, but you got to kind of walk around, I think. But that's a nice facility. It's a gorgeous pool.
It is. It's great. We have the latest games. If you're a video gamer, we've got it. And we go out and we're there to buy the game the day that comes out and premieres at GameStop or Target or wherever.
Right.
So we have all that. We have our recording studio is back up and running. Sound Element Studio is running it for us.
So many kids have an interest in music.
Or engineering. If they like to do the backside of things, they can come and do that. And we're bringing groups in. We just had a group of students from a local church come in and create a CD, and they're going to sell that in their congregation to raise money to support the community. So there's all sorts of ways we can partner, and we have a great athletic facility. We have high schools that are coming in and training. right now.
Now, what do they use? Tell me about that.
For instance, the Kickotan cross-country team comes in and trains on Friday morning during the summer with us. They run the Matson Trail, which is around the golf course and around our facility.
It's a wonderful, wonderful trail.
So they'll run that in the morning, and then they'll come into the building. We have a 3-lane bank track upstairs, which is great. If you're a runner, that's a big deal.
Okay, I'm not.
Okay, all right. Well, we have that, and they love it. We have a weights. Cybex weight systems up there, and we have free weights that they can work out with. And then we have some cardio equipment as well. So their coaches come out, design a plan for them. They reserve our space. So I'll put them upstairs. I won't let it, we'll kind of block that off during the time period that they're training. And so they have the ability to train upstairs in an air-conditioned building all by themselves. And so I'm really hoping that I can get other high school athletic teams to want to come in and train in our building.
That's a great idea. So part of what you're doing isn't necessarily putting on programs, but making this facility available. And if it's a team situation, they might have their own transportation or might be able to carpool, if it's an off-season training.
Exactly. And we have a dance studio that's very popular. We have dance teams in the community that need a place to practice. So they'll come and, they'll sign up. I'll work out an agreement with them to use the space. Sometimes I rent it, depending on if
it's a for-profit studio.
Exactly. If it's a nonprofit group that doesn't charge students to participate, then I'm not going to charge them if it's during my normal business hours. So we do want to, partner with folks where we can. And then our kids at the Teen Center, they have the ability to go in and use the studio when it's not being used. We have a great sound system in there. They plug their iPod in and they go to town.
That's wonderful. Now, what age group? And this is where I think it gets hard, because once a kid gets a car or a job, they age out in some ways, even though they're not too old for the Teen Center. It's no longer necessarily where they want to spend time.
We really stick to that age 14 to 18. And we, do have the 13-year-olds that come in and really want to come in, but we've really held true to the 14 to 18. And that's real important for our kids. When they see younger kids come in, they'll kind of question it. What are they doing here? Because they know it's their space, and they take ownership of it, and they respect the space, which is wonderful. I really appreciate that. And we do have some kids, once they get jobs, we won't see them as often. We do have a couple of kids this year that have summer jobs. And so we'll see them on Friday nights when they get off their job and they come on over.
Right, or you might see them up until football practice starts, and then you don't see them again until the winter.
And the band students. They're getting ready to have practice now. Because I've even offered one of the drum lines the opportunity to come in and practice, because we have a great straightaway upstairs and they can practice inside instead of being outside on the hot football field.
Oh wow, that would be a whole lot better. These August days have been pretty miserable.
So we have all of that, and our kids really just kind of come and go. They really just need a place to hang out, and whenever they show up, they always tell me, I was bored at home. So they're going to come here and hang out with some kids that that they've just met, or lifelong friends. They get to know each other because they're from different high schools. They learn about what's happening in the schools, and it's a great social network opportunity for them.
Well, Allison, how do you get the word out? Because I think that's been one of the difficulties with the Teen Center in the past, is it just hasn't created that word of mouth steamroller kind of thing.
Right, and that's something
it's served great for the kids who go, but it hasn't been serving enough kids.
And that's something I learned in January when I got there, that it's just like nobody knows about it. So we started in late spring putting announcements out at the high schools, and the schools have been wonderful about reading our morning announcements, word of mouth, our kids talking about what's happening there, and that spreads so quickly. The Facebook page, we have.
I was going to ask if you have a Facebook page.
We do. Lots of friends on the Facebook page, and so we update. For instance, we just went and did laser tag this week. The photos are up. We've got comments on those coming in. We've had a lot of grandparents bring their grandchildren in who have come in from out of town for the summer.
That happens over the summer. Yeah, kids go stay with their grandparents, give the parents a little break, give a chance to visit, but they don't have the resources to keep a kid entertained all day long.
So we have a lot of children that are just visiting from out of town, and they all say, there's nothing like this where I live. I wish there was something like this where I lived. So they feel really excited about having a place to go. And we really try to make our students feel very special when they're there. We want to know their name. We want to know a little bit more about them. A lot of our students are on the honor roll. And you wouldn't know. I mean, You wouldn't know that by just chatting with them. So we have to ask them when grades come out, how'd you do? You know, and they'll hold up their little thing, or, you know, I'm like, make sure you tell your parents when you get home, show them the certificate. So, and we're trying to recognize that at the center. We announce birthdays now over the PA system and things like that. We want them to feel like this is their home, this is a place they can go. And in return, these students are providing us with just great feedback on what they want us to offer. They're respecting our building and helping us take care of it. We're really seeing them. They will rat each other out. If they do something that is against the rules, they will tell us, or they will say, hey, pick that trash, you're not supposed to do that, or we have to eat it in here if we're, you know, have snacks or whatever.
So taking responsibility for policing themselves.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's great.
And you know, we have very few disciplinary problems, if any at all. It's just, I mean, it's just like a family.
So what will happen then when school starts? If you've been doing during the summer, you've been open full day. What will it be like in the fall?
Okay. Well, the last week of summer, we will be doing a very big renovation project within the building, moving things around, creating new rooms, gaming. We're creating an arcade, a video gaming center. So there's quite a few things that'll happen. So come fall, we're going to be in the schools on a regular basis, letting people know what's out there, encouraging people to get on that van and come to us after school if they, you know, don't have band or football or basketball or whatever. We have a calendar, a monthly calendar that we do, and that gets out on our Facebook. We want to make sure that that's at the schools. We've just met with some of the PTA folks who have said they would do anything to help us advertise what's happening out there. So
could people have events there, like if a PTA wanted to have a family night or something like that?
Depending on what the event is, we can't do for-profit events like fundraisers or anything like that. But there are some guidelines, but we're always looking to partner with different groups out there. We have lots of nonprofits that want to do workshops for teens. It has to be teen focused.
Right.
So
I know they've had scout groups or things like that there in the past.
Yes. And we will do that.
After proms, do you still do that?
We do after proms. I think we did 4 or 5 after proms this past year. And we even do them from outside of Hampton. We've done Hampton Roads Academy, and we've done some from Newport News. So we're open to any idea. If our calendar is available and it meets the requirements that we have, then we're willing to work with them.
Okay. Now, normally I would say, what's the phone number? But I'm going to guess with this age group, the Facebook page is really the best way for people to get information.
Yeah, just Hampton Teen Center. They need to be looking for that.
All right. So if you just search Hampton Teen Center, that's what's going to pop up, and you can like it and follow the feed and get ideas about what's going on. And not just that, who's doing it and what they're doing. I mean, if they're posting their own photos, if they're sharing things, teens talking to teens is going to draw a whole lot more than you and me talking to each
Exactly.
other.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, we've learned that lesson a long time ago. That they're the ones that are going to make this happen for us.
So we need to tell them it's there and then get out of the way and let them have the conversation and decide to get involved.
Yes, and we don't have a lot of adults in the building, and they know that, and they'll spot one. If they spot one in there, they'll tell us, hey, there's an adult in here. You know, they know it's their place. And so I think that's great that they feel very comfortable about that.
And you know what, that really honors the original founding group. I mean, that was what they said they needed, that they didn't want space in other community centers, that a space for teenagers had to be a space for teenagers.
Right.
So that really, you know, it's full circle. That gets back to the original intent of what those students, however long ago it was, 10, 15 years, said they wanted.
Right. And one of the things we're building right now is a youth boardroom. And so it will be designed just like a conference room you would have maybe in City Hall or in our building, that youth groups out there that want to have meetings in a professional image, they can come and use that boardroom to have their meetings. So the planning commission, the youth planning commissions, the leadership groups locally, they can come and reserve that room and have their meetings.
That sounds great. That's really, you know, just a special whole facility that accommodates a wide range of things that teenagers would be interested in.
Yes.
Well, thank you, because I do think that building is so situated out of where a lot of people, you know, if you're driving past that way, it's either you're on a trip or you're going to the business surrounding, you know, one of the businesses surrounding, and you kind of forget that that is there.
Yep. We love it out there, and we encourage anyone and everyone to come visit.
Okay, well, thank you, Allison, and you know, I'll have my son look for it on Facebook, because I don't think you're real interested in me. You really want to talk to
Well, you can look at
teenagers.
it, but you can't come to the Teen Center.
That's right. Okay. Well, thank you, Allison, and
Thank you
for watching this episode of Round Robin.